welcome to Ask an Assistant. I'm your host, Jess Lindgren, and in the spirit of last week's 2024 housekeeping update, I am coming to you with a little update on me, the lady behind the microphone. So I am still coming to you from my podcast closet. However, it's a bit chillier now as my husband and I moved in 2021, in June 2021, which is why the last episodes were released in May 2021 and kind of fell off from there. We were a little busy in summer into fall of 2021, moving from Southern California to upstate New York. That is right. We moved from the southwest corner of the country to the northeast corner of the country. I know last time I was here, I said I wouldn't trade it for the world. We still miss California every single day, talk about it, miss it, reminisce about it, keep in touch with all of our friends out there, and definitely still making plans to get back. But in the meantime, we are enjoying the time spent with family and friends here in upstate New York. California is a very car-driven, individualistic town, so making friends was hard but rewarding. And then the pandemic hit and making new friends was a little bit more challenging. So when we moved here to New York, we definitely made it a priority to get to know our neighbors, become part of the community. And my sister and her family live here in upstate New York, and we took our professional auntie and uncle duties to the max. So now instead of seeing our nieces and nephews once or twice a year, if we were lucky, now we see them at least once a week, which is incredible. We spend every week doing family dinner. I make a little letter board with the menu on it. We have the kids every so often for sleepovers, pick them up after school. My husband runs the chess club at their school. It's the best. So, huge life update. Like I said in the last episode, I've lived a lot since 2021, and I know the rest of you have as well. We bought, sight unseen, a 3,000 square foot. We went from our tiny little rented Southern California condo, 1,000 square feet, to a 3,000 square foot, built-in 1900, 6-bedroom behemoth of a house. It feels like a bit of an overcorrection, and it is absolutely a very silly amount of house for two people. The cats love it. Lots of space to run around, which is fantastic. We do get a quarterly bat visitor. I would say right now we're running about one a quarter, and it turns out one of our cats is a pretty accomplished mouser. Thankfully, she has been keeping the mice at bay, or at least she hasn't been telling us if she has found any more mice. We've only seen evidence of 2 or 3 in the nearly 3 years that we've been here, but really great to know that we've got somebody on patrol. 2020 for us, not all of us. I don't know what your plans were in 2020, but for me and my husband, 2020 was supposed to be a year of, we had plans to go to Los Angeles like once a month. I had really started listening to a lot of podcasts that are done by comedians and other people based in LA, people talking about shows that they produced or shows that they really loved, restaurants, all kinds of stuff. And so we truly had plans to be in LA once a month. We had plans to go up and visit some friends all up and down the West Coast. 2020 kind of threw the brakes, screeching to a halt, and retooled our plans a little bit. We didn't get nearly as much of time to explore California as we wanted, but we know that someday, even though we are nearly as far as we can be, the only much further we could have gone is Maine. But we know even though we're not there now, we still, again, think about it all the time, talk about it all the time. We're going to be back, California. So you just wait for me and my husband. We're coming back. But in the meantime, we're just really enjoying our time here in New York. We're exploring the Northeast bit by bit. Hope to run into some of you while we are out and about. Still very lactose intolerant, maybe a dairy allergy, who knows. Still in love with vegan desserts. Less seeking out chocolate and more seeking out, the Northeast has a lot of, I don't know what you'd want to call it, but maybe like a bevy of potato chip producers, which I'm really excited about. I really love salt. Like my husband is a sweet tooth kind of guy. I'm a salt tooth kind of gal. So lots of really interesting, unique potato chips, pretzels, that kind of thing up here in the Northeast, which we really love. Still doing a lot with vegan desserts. Like I said, not really seeking out or finding a ton of boutique artisan chocolate, but maybe I'm just not looking very hard. But we have learned to make Nutella, vegan Nutella, vegan coconut-based caramel, and a chocolate pudding that my husband really loves to make, which is great. Introducing our nieces and nephews at those weekly family dinners to, vegan things that they don't even mind the fact that it's not cow-based dairy, which is great, and just kind of gets them in the mode of thinking about dietary restrictions that other people might have too. We've been spending a lot of time supporting our local vegan businesses that we love. There's a really great restaurant that we go to maybe like once a month called Strong Hearts. Everything, absolutely everything in the entire building is something I can eat without worry, which is incredible. Like if you're somebody who has any kind of dietary restriction, just the anxiety that you feel around food is ever present. And it's just really wonderful to be able to go somewhere and not have to think twice and just say, well, here's the 2 things on the menu I can order. I had this one last time. Maybe I want something different. No, I can pick from absolutely everything on the menu and it feels amazing. We also have a really incredible local vegan bakery run by a wonderful woman named Megan called Fat Cat, and they make the best macarons I've had. Sorry, Paris, sorry, whoever else might make them, but just again, knowing that they're not going to make me sick or break out is incredible. So Fat Cat, everything that they're doing. There's a local dude named Mojo who does little vegan pop-up food experiences, and a really neat concept out here called Nice Biscuit. They make Southern style biscuits and a vegan chicken patty. So, once a month or so, we make the trek out and go to Nice Biscuit and have a little biscuit sandwich. And it's just really incredible to have those options out here. Not quite as plentiful as they were in Southern California, but doing our best to, spend our money where we want people to keep in business, and hopefully all of those folks will be in it for the long haul. Speaking of exploring the Northeast a bit, I am planning to bring Caffeine and Correspondence back. That's something, if you listen to the original episode about the lady behind the microphone, which I just did to refresh my memory because it's been a little while, I did briefly mention the Caffeine and Correspondence events, and I will be bringing those back in 2024, maybe mid to Q2 to Q3 is my goal on those. So watch for information either here on the podcast or on my Substack, askanassistant.substack.com. I think if you just askanassistant.com and there's a button right on the site for reading and or subscribing to the newsletter. I don't write as much as I would like to these days. I've really fallen off of my snail mail habit. I have literally thousands of cards and cute pieces of stationery and stamps and ink pads and markers, and they're all just sitting dormant, and I really need to get back into that. So Caffeine and Correspondence coming back in 2024, which I'm really excited to do. Get out, meet some folks, and write a little love into the world. At this point, on a professional note, I am up to over 20 years as an executive assistant, still going strong, still very proud of my career as an administrative professional. I still work with my current executive. He is blogger, author, speaker, podcaster, YouTuber, a little bit of everything. We're still a company of 2, although at this point in 2024, we do have a handful of contractors that we work with. I really love working in a small company. I love the autonomy. I love the trust that I've built up with my executive. He just gives me not carte blanche, but, he trusts me implicitly and knows that I'm always making decisions in the best interests of him and the company. And, that's just so important in any working relationship and something that I really cherish and appreciate every single day. I also restarted my own company of one this year, which is why the podcast is kicking back into gear. Excited to bring some episodes, some education, some coaching, consulting back to life. Lots of big stuff in the works for 2024, which I'm really excited about. For my full-time role with my executive, I'm still AP and AR, still doing HR, benefits. I'm getting to do more with the personal side of things, which I'm really excited by as his kids start to get a little older. It's just a little different now, which is really great. It's really fun and really nice to see my role evolving. That split is something that I would love to talk about in a future episode, so stay tuned on that. I know last time I talked about my personal professional split of where everything shakes out to be. I need to do a little thinking about that because my role is similar but different 3 years down the road. In the time since 2021, there've been a handful of big changes. During 2020 to 2021, so starting in March of 2020, my executive started something every day called the income stream, where he would go live and stream for whoever showed up for 365 days. He did a full year of streaming for an hour every day, and what an incredible education that was for both of us. Just a lot of new video techniques and editing and cool streaming. I don't mean to say toys, but things that just make the production of it a lot more fun. Excuse me. If I recall, I think he's got an Elgato Stream Deck, so that can do a lot of popping chat up onto the screen, a lot of interesting wipes between different cameras, really cool setup in his home office. So that was really great. The launch of the SPI Pro and All Access Pass communities. So just bringing a lot more community when people, including all of us involved in the company, needed it, to the forefront, which was really great. It was something that was planned for 2021 to 2022 and just due to circumstance got brought forward. And in the wake of, especially I think the income stream and just by virtue of the pandemic itself, my executive made a pivot into the Pokemon card space. He has a really interesting YouTube channel. It's called Deep Pocket Monster. It's a really fun new niche. We're having a blast. We did our first card party event in Anaheim in 2023. We're still in that liminal space of December into January. I know it's the end of January right now, but it's still, you have to consciously think, okay, is it 2023 still? Did the first event happen this year or did it happen last year? We're finally at the point where I can say, okay, our first Pokemon card event happened last year, and we are deep into planning for Card Party 2, which is happening in, It is happening. Let me just double check, pulling out my phone. I always get a little nervous to say out loud exactly where it's happening, which is incredible because I am on the team that is actively deep in the process of planning the next event. It is happening at the Orlando Hilton. I always hesitate and I think that it's Miami, but it is Orlando. I just need to say it out loud a few more times. Happening in Orlando, June this year. Check it out, card.party, if that's something that you're into. If you want a guaranteed time where you can come and see me and say hello, I will be running around after Pat everywhere he goes. If this year is anything like last year, I will be working 14-hour days, real long days, but just truly, this is the best work that Pat and I have ever done. I cannot stress that enough. Every time that we have done something over the years, pre-pandemic especially, there were definitely a few highlights during 2020, 2021, but pre-pandemic, when we did a lot of events in person, a lot of podcast workshops, a lot of course building workshops, just anything where we've done in-person stuff, every time it feels like that's our best work. And Card Party just really, the team that we worked with knocked it out of the park. Pat really knocked it out of the park with his content and storytelling and community building, and just really unique, really special. I'm absolutely beside myself that I got to be a part of it. And this March if it's January right now, March in a month and change marks 10 years of working together. And at this point, I'm really thrilled for everything that we've done in the last 10 years and really looking forward to everything that we are going to do in the next 10. Like, again, just 2023 was one of our best years, and we lived on opposite coasts from each other and came together to do some really incredible stuff, and just can't wait to see where the future takes us. So that's where I'm at right now. I'd love to know what's new with all of you. Feel free to drop me a line, askanassistant.com. Leave me your comments, questions, thoughts, concerns. If you want, connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me, Jess Lindgren. Drop me a line there. I'd love to say hello, expand my network a little bit. Please know, though, that I will block you if you come to me with your MLM sales pitch. Not interested. Askanassistant.com. Really want to remind you that the only stupid question that you, we're going to try that again. Askanassistant.com. Would love to hear from you. Please remember that the only stupid question is the question that you don't ask. Take care.